Good morning. Good morning to all you beautiful, lovely people out there. This is Brad, the Love Coach, coming to you today from Pueblo, Colorado. And just have a few things I want to talk about today. Had some amazing conversations with some of my friends this morning on my MySpace and just over the telephone and stuff last night. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you to all those people who are contributing to me and to sharing your ideas and your thoughts of how we can start all the different healing processes with all the different issues that are happening. So you guys rock, and thanks for all of your insight and everything into this process. So I want to say thank you very much. Couple things I want to talk about. I just have been so inspired by what people are coming back to me with their thoughts and stuff about what I'm saying, and everybody's getting on the same page with starting to take on accountability and responsibility for all these major issues that are happening right now in our politics and with their relationships, interpersonal relationships, and also with global warming and the world relationship. And something that today I want to talk about, a topic that is very sensitive, and it's very relevant right now out in the world, and it's something I want to bring up, being a man myself, and something that's been really deeply troubling me and keeps touching my heart very much when I watch it, is this whole thing on Dateline with the predators, the internet predators. The reason I want to talk specifically about this issue is because I feel like I have some insight into it that I can share, where we can start the healing process rather than just pointing our fingers and playing a blame game. Because I feel like that's kind of what's happening right now, is that everybody's still in such shock and they continue to watch the show. It's almost becoming sensationalized rather than doing something about it. So I want to share some of my ideas and thoughts like that with you guys. The first thing is that when I watch the show, I think the show is actually very poignant, and it's very specific, and it really needs to be, it needs to be highlighted, because this is going on in the world, and this is something that's not new. Okay, just so people know that it's this whole thing with sexual predators and the sexual issue and people being raped or molested or just preyed upon because of sexuality is something that's thousands and thousands of years old, because our sexuality has been around. Okay, the problem is that we always sweep it under the rug. The first thing is that to start the healing process, for you women out there, for you to, if you really want to go beyond just being angry and upset about this, and you want to start to try and understand the male psyche and what we go through, I can just share with you my own experience, okay? Being a man, being a love coach, being a spiritual healer, and all the things, my journey along the way, is that it's so difficult. The thing that I notice when I'm watching this show on Dateline is, and what women don't understand, what I've tried to explain to women, and it's the same way. Being a man and what we have to go through and what we deal with having genitalia, right? Having a penis that we want to procreate with. It's the same way. You can't ever explain to us what it's like to have a baby. Okay, no matter how much you try to explain it to us, we won't ever get that. We can't ever get that, because we never go through that. It's the same way. You have never had a penis, and you never will. Even if whatever. But genetically, you're not shaped the same way, and the sex drive that we have is different than a woman. It's not better, not worse, it's just different. And to the point where this is happening right now in the world, where men, the reason that this... Hi, sorry, I had to move because it was I kept getting interrupted. So what I was saying is, the reason that it's happening right now in the world is because there's a lot of men out there who are not getting themselves fulfilled spiritually, mentally, and sexually. Sexually is such a big one, and they don't have the tools to express themselves. These guys aren't, we all have to do the work internally on ourselves and work on ourselves. And that's what's going to lead to being able to have these amazing relationships and be able to express yourself sexually. The reason that it doesn't work is because the short road is to try to fill that void, fill that with a quick fix or whatever. And, that's the reason that there's these laws. That's the reason there's laws that are to protect these young people from having these sexual experiences, because they're not ready. They're just not ready. And these guys, though, they're not, a lot of them, don't get me wrong, there are guys who are off and who are definitely not right with themselves, and who are doing it in a way that's to take advantage of someone and to hurt them, and they don't care. But I would say the majority of these guys I see on this show are not like that. They are real, most of them are professionals. A lot of them are in the military. A lot of these guys, they're these young, they're a whole age range, but there are these guys who are really lonely. A lot of them are not the most attractive guys, but there are even guys on there who are very good-looking guys. But it's mainly guys I see who are just maybe don't know themselves, maybe don't know how to express themselves, and they're not having the relationships they want to have. They're not finding that release and that outlet in their life. And I've been there in my own life where I have felt really low. Had really low self-esteem. I've been really bummed out and not felt attractive. And I can tell you the thoughts that go through your head. I was a substitute teacher during that period of time. It was when I was 30 years old. And it was at a time when I was really low point, And I had girls at the school flirting with me and this and that, and it was like, those thoughts, you entertain those thoughts. You can't help it as a man, because we're very visual, and you can't help but entertain those thoughts. Now these guys, they get on the internet, and it's just a bad situation, because their sex drive is so much stronger than their moral compass, that they will make a bad choice, and they will go down that road, and that's just a fact. Being a man, I can just tell you that's a fact. You have to be so strong within yourself spiritually. You have to be so strong within yourself morally that you won't do that. But our sex drive is so strong that it drives us to do things that we know are not right. That's why almost all the guys that get caught on there, they all say, I know I'm not supposed to be here, and they know it. They know it. You can see it in their face. You can see it in what they're saying. They're just like, they're tormented because they know they're not supposed to be there. And that's the thing, is that instead of now pointing our fingers at them and saying, these evil men, it's how do we start the healing process so that these guys, they want to look within themselves first before they do something, take an action to go and do that. And it's all of our jobs. It's your job as a woman to have your interaction and to have your communication with your man. It's our job as a man to communicate with our women. So, it's a whole conversation that needs to start to take place. But basically, I just want to say, my heart goes out to these guys that are doing this, because I've had those thoughts myself. I've had those thoughts. It's like, the difference is that you don't act upon it. But I can just tell you to have compassion. Instead of just pointing the finger and blaming these guys, we need to start the healing process and look at what the underlying conversation, the underlying current that's going on with them. I'm not condoning what they're doing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that it's okay. But it's a matter of why are they doing it? Because if we don't start looking there, it's just going to keep going on and on and on. Because it's something that's going on forever. This sexual thing is such a big issue. And for anybody who's been hurt by sexual abuse, I send my heart out to you, because it's such a traumatic experience to go through. And so we need to start the healing process so that no other young people need to go through this. That's basically, I think, all. I have a million other things I want to talk about, but that's all the time I have for today. And feel free to give me your thoughts on that. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day. And thanks for checking this out. Brad the Love Coach saying, rock on and start to do the work on yourself. Peace, everybody.